Good afternoon, YouTubers. Today what we're working on is we're going to put a little fluid film on the critical areas of an automotive vehicle or anything that you don't want to let get rusted up, four-wheelers, whatever. You can, if you're in a salty environment like here in upstate New York, they literally put copious amounts of salt on the roads where you literally can see piles of salt at times. And you can only imagine what that does to the metal. It's a very highly corrosive situation, and each state they have their own little deal, but if you're from down south, this doesn't apply to you. But up here we have to protect the critical areas, and what you'll see is I have a gun here. This is made specifically for applying the fluid film. This is not a paint gun, okay? There's different viscosities, and this gun is made to do that. And they also have two separate whips here, and these are for getting down in the channels, in the rocker panels. One of them, this one here, and you can see it has holes on the outside, okay? And what that does is as it comes down, it sprays a 360 degree rotation of fluid film. And it gets in, say like if you're in a rocker panel, you'd want to get the entire rocker panel coated as you drag it back through. And the other one is a straight wand that has an end, yep, just an end on it like this. It's for getting in far to reach areas like down here on this firewall, by the rack and pinion, around the shock towers. We're going to want to spray down in there, and it's kind of hard to you can use this tip here that comes on the gun, but that's for doing like basically big panels underneath on the floor pans, and underneath of say like a pickup truck in the box area in the back around the wheel wells. That works really good for laying it down quick. But if you want to get like inside the frame rails, you're going to want to use one of these two whips. And there's a couple different products out in the market. They have this one here. This is automotive undercoating. It's a wool wax, stops rust, automotive marine rust protection, penetrant and lubricant. It's a lanolin based wool wax formula, okay? And it's safe and simple to apply, solvent free, non-toxic, non-hazardous. What this means is when you're spraying it on your servos or any kind of your electrical components, it won't tear them apart. Any kind of O-rings or door seals, it won't damage them like diesel fuel or any kind of oil that you would spray on the underside of something. If anybody knows like what I'm talking about, like you'll see a truck that hauls diesel fuel in the back, and I don't care how old the truck is, that box inside is it may have paint missing or whatever, but it's not rusted out. That oil from the diesel protects it. But the only problem is with that is your steering boxes, any kind of servos, you'll eat the O-rings right out of them because it kind of breaks down the O-ring, the actual diesel fuel. So we don't use that up here no more. We use this one actually that I have here is the actual original brand, and I get it in a 5-gallon bucket. This is the Fluid Film brand. It's powerful rust and corrosion protection, and this is meant to be applied initially really good on the vehicle, and each year before the winter season approaches you reapply it. And around here I think they charge somewhere upwards of $250 to initially do your vehicle, and then each year thereafter they guarantee it if you go ahead and have them retouch it up where like the water areas are constantly hitting underneath the frame channels and stuff. You'll want to have them retouch all that up. That's like $100, $125. Now you can buy this stuff right now. It's about 50 bucks a gallon. If you buy it in a 5-gallon bucket like I do, you save, I think you get a free gallon if you break down the cost. I try to take care of my friends and family, and this way here, a lot of them, same people, will have me working on their vehicles from time to time, and it's easier for me to be able to break bolts free and get things off if they're not corroded. Now, what I like to do is pull the tail lights out on a pickup truck or even a car, and I get up underneath the back of the wheel arches and up into quarter panels and back of the box. I do go in through, there's plugs underneath the rocker panels in the back of the cabs, up in the frame channels. I do all of that. Now, I don't know how they do it at the shop where you may have it done. I mean, I guess it goes off your integrity and your work ethic, but some people are probably just they're looking at it as a money thing. Other people, like myself, we're not really looking at it as a money thing. We're looking at it as a protection, and a protection thing that we're going to try to do our best at. So I may put a little more than I really need to on a car or a truck, but at the end of the day, the stuff doesn't rust out with this on it. So a shout out to Fluid Film, a shout out to Wool Wax and Cal Sports. Okay, Cal Sports, Kell Sports. They sell the gun, they sell the kit. I think it's around $129, and this is the third year. It just lasts. The thing really works good. I did the Tacoma. I do all the vehicles. This is my daughter's car. She got this out of Virginia, and she had the same exact car. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get up in here, up in here, so all the seams up in here that you can't get to, it's going to creep up in there, and we're going to get all down through here. We're going to get all her firewall. Here's the big thing in the upstate area with the salt. These shock towers are a structural piece of the car. If they turn around and rust out, all the weight of your car is hitting this. If it rips out, they won't pass your inspection. So we're going to coat this real good. And here's the thing. If you put this on your vehicle and you need to get it off, you can. It's not like a rubberized undercoating that the salt seems to get behind the rubberized undercoating and eat the metal from behind. It looks good for a while and you think everything's working, but when that undercoating starts to fall off, you'll see pieces of the frame, pieces of the metal with it. So I don't use the rubberized undercoating. But we're going to do that. We're going to get all down in here, all these little things. And there's also another, there's another piece that comes with it. You get 3 of these little buckets with it. Okay, that's not one of them. Hold on. It's this one here. This one comes with a little brush on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the battery terminal. Any of these bolts like this, we're going to touch them up. Okay? Because those are the things, when they corrode, they get all over. They're very hard. They'll want to break on you. Okay? And if you've dealt with any foreign vehicles, they usually last a long time. It's just here in the upstate area and the Rust Belt in general. If you go to, say, pull that fuel line off right there, if you don't put this fluid film on those little components where the threads and the nuts, you will catch hell getting them off. So any of these areas like this that are critical, we'll go ahead and brush these on. But you get the idea. And then of course the battery terminals, you know, you're going to want to come in here and brush all this on. This keeps, it protects it from corrosion and it protects it from the salt getting on it. And even just the battery acid fumes from tearing up that lead and the metal. And it ensures that you'll have a good, strong connection. So, as you see, you get one of these, you get the 2 wands, and you get the gun itself, and you get 3 of these little jugs right here. Now, this stuff here, like I said, if you had to get it off, it's not like it's impossible. You just got to hit it with some hot water, because it goes on and it stays like it's lanolin based, so it's like I believe sheep wool or whatever has that oil that they get it from, but it's all natural. And there we go. But that's what we have there, and we're going to go ahead and show you. Now I have a nice 60-gallon Ingersoll Rand, and we've got the pressure set. But I'm just going to give you a little demonstration here of the fluid film. So we're going to take that tip off, and for this particular situation, we're going to go ahead with just a long extension. Okay? Because I don't want to get it all over areas that I don't need it. Okay, so we got that locked on. There's a little button here that you just lock that in the back. Now we have that. So you see what we're going to do here. Let me get this camera set up for you a little better. And as you see, like, it'd be very difficult. Now you want to do this when the car's clean. But you see up here in the hinge area, all just putting a light coating on there. There we go. Now if you get some on the windshield, that's okay. You can wipe that off. Little Windex, you'll get it off. But all this little area down through here, you're going to want to get. Now, down in here, we're going to spray all down in the corner of that hood. That way that don't rust. Okay? We're going to come across up by the firewall. And usually these master cylinders, they usually rust up real good with the salt. So we're going to make sure we do that. Now you can do this with a small compressor, but you need something that's going to be able to handle it. Let me get you a little bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. You want to get down inside there by that brain box. That's usually where the salt gets in. And this really is for reaching in the areas that you really can't get to. And you get the point. You get the point what I'm trying to say here. And the situation says, if you want to get your car and keep it protected, you want to do this in a warm time. You don't want to do it in the cold, cold weather. Right now it's about 60 degrees out, so it's about max. But it flows better when it's warmer out. You can take the jugs and you can put these right in hot water, like in a sheetrock bucket full of hot water. But it's not that cold out today. But I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to go ahead and go through the whole vehicle in the front engine bay. And tomorrow morning I'm going to put this up on jack stands. I'm going to get all underneath the bottom. You can take like old Walmart bags and wrap your rotors and tie them off. Tie the brake pads and all that. Tie the whole caliper off and spray the backing plates and get them good because the salt will just destroy it. So I hope this helped you, and we look forward to getting this car done for many years of nice service. If we got to service anything, it'll come off nice, and my daughter will have a really nice car that won't be all rusted out and have orange all up on the frame rails and stuff. So all right, people, I hope you enjoyed the review on the fluid film, and we'll have more coming at you. I may do one tomorrow where I'm using the actual tip that goes on the end to show you how well that lays it down on the big areas. So all right, this is B. Rye. I'm over here at the compound, and stay classy.